Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, awesome. Let's kick it. Let's kick it. Let's kick it. Let's kick it off. Let's kick it off, you guys. Happy Tuesday night training, y'all. Oh my goodness. So grateful to have y'all on in the building, you guys. Man, excited to kick off this evening with you guys as well, too. And hey, if you guys are in a decent place, right, we ask of you to turn your camera on as well, too. And also be present. And at the same time, too, guys, we got an amazing lineup for y'all tonight. But first things first, you guys, drop some fire in the chat because are y'all ready for a killer training tonight? Y'all know what time it is, right? So, hey, without further ado, we got the man with the plan. We got the amazing Coach Mike Fry in the building, you guys, going over some incredible announcements. And hey, he's sporting one of those incredible t-shirts that are on the line as well, too. So, Coach Mike, take it away with announcements.
All right. Got the mute monster this morning, this afternoon. So we're going to kick it off with announcements for our Tuesday night training. You know it's explosive. That's why we call it TNT. It is Triple Play May. And we're going to go over the announcements for this month. Y'all ready? It's our Escape Paradise. Look, Escape to Paradise. We've been talking about it. You probably can drop it in. Let me see some flags in there. It's the Baha Mar, right? Baha Mar. So on your vision boards, put on March 1st through the 4th, or like Coach Kia does, March 1st through the 7th. You get them all them days. Put it on your calendar right now. And we're just going to show you how to get to that trip too. All right. And it, like some of the things, if you haven't been to a company trip, these are some of the things that they're like 6 tropical pools. You got the resort shops. You have miles of like turquoise waters. Man, the Bahamas is so beautiful. And the white sand. Oh my gosh. I'm there. So Baja Bay, right? You got the state-of-the-art water park there. You have water slides. You got the wave pool. Look, drop in the chat like some I don't know if you could do surfboards or just some water or something from Bahamas, something in there. Just drop it in there. And why do you want to get to these? So you get to just talk and just chop it up with a lot of these coaches, $1 million earners, ring wearers, and you see some of them there on the screen. They're like the goats of the business there. You get to just fellowship and just get some tips on how to build your business and build that life that you want. I almost said amen. We not in church though, are we? But anyway, so how do you get this, right? So we have the builder production points. And by the way, it's a lot of announcements. So you can always ask the coaches. You can always go on POL. I'm going to highlight some of the things on here. But we encourage play up a level. When you play up a level, you can go ahead. It's 75,000 points, right? 75,000 points. And also, this is the final month for our last competition. And so those who are on track for there, this is the last month to get that in for that competition. And also the first to move for the new competition. So like I said, everything is on POL. You see this? This is from the last time. I got to win me another shirt so Lisa can have a shirt as well. But what do you do this month? At least one recruit in May will get you this nice. You see this shirt? Nice shirt. That's some nice stuff right there. So also you can get and I'm gonna highlight some of these things here. But 1 by 1 or 1 by 10,000 in securities volumes, gets you the water bottle. And districts and above need 3 by 3 to get the water bottle. It's gonna be hot out there. You want something to drink that water down. That's cool. And this is one of the things I'm going for. But before I go to that, we want to give a shout out to Christina, who's earned the team gear already, and also to Tyler and Christina, who's earned that 90-day planner. What do you got to do for the 90-day planner? Just one recruit. And the team gear, these line up with our company goals as well. So when you win the company stuff too, you win the gear for, Fearless Hustler. So it's like a win-win. It's a win-win. That's why they call it triple play, May. I already get it now. Everything's like triple. You triple win. So also we want to talk about the field training bonuses here in May, right? So soon as they're recruited, you want to log them in the app within 24 hours and they get $50 back. All right. Complete your pre-licensing class within like 30 days and you get $50 back. So where else you can start a business for 124 and have a chance to get 100 just base back? So it pays to get field trained, guys. Now, if you have not seen this video about the IUL, it's on POL. You could go to POL on demand and training and development. Watch this video about IUL. They're trash, so I don't care what name you call them. But IUL. Oh, can I say that live? I'm sorry. But anyway, so go on there. You got to see this because the bucket, the way they describe it is phenomenal. You definitely got to go in there. POL on demand training and development. Builder School, the Midwest Builder School. The last one was hype, so you guys got to get there. It's October 16th and 17th. While you writing on your calendar, get it in there right now. October 16th and 17th. I think I believe Coach said it was in June. Is in for the early pre-register or registration, so you want to get it in. Make your plans now. Holler at me. Holler at the coaches if we got to get a plan to get you there. You got to go. And tonight we have an awesome, explosive training. Up tonight, we got Coach Jackie, we got Coach Kia, and we have a special guest, my brother, Coach Shane Rubin Jr. And it's going to be awesome training tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it back over to Coach Jackie to go ahead and take it away. Coach Jackie, it's yours.
Thank you so much, Mike. And thank you for going over those incredible announcements, you guys. And guys, drop in the chat, what are y'all going to fight for this month? Is it the water bottle? Is it the t-shirt? Is it the team gear? Is it the planner? Or if you guys want all the things, like how Mike just dropped in the chat, all the things, drop it in the chat, you guys, because that's what you guys have to take advantage of this month. But hey, without further ado, I'm excited to introduce our next key speaker of the night, you guys. And I'm excited for this incredible woman too, guys, out of Michigan, fully licensed. And I'm excited for her. She's working on her next investment license, which is really exciting. And I'm just really fired up to hear what she has to give you guys tonight around bettering what the most important part is, which is your mind, right? So guys, drop some fire in the chat for regional leader Kia Fry. Take it away.
Thanks, Coach Jackie. That is a phenomenal introduction. I will pay you a little bit later. I don't know what you like, fruit snacks, popcorn. What is that? I don't know. But listen, I am excited to be with you all this Tuesday. We have my brother in the building, Shane 2.0. And so I am so excited to be with you all. So listen, with that being said, we have to let Shane know what is our Fearless Hustlers culture. Can anybody?
Are you there, Kia, as well too? Did she just freeze? I wonder if she'll come back as well too. If she doesn't come back.
Yeah, she got kicked out for a minute. She's coming back in.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Mama. I appreciate you. Hey, Mama coming in hot with the beach behind her too.
Man, they playing with my mind around here. I was tired. I just was too hot. I made everything spaz out.
The devil is busy.
Absolutely. But we stump on the head around here, right? So with that being said, what is our Fearless Hustlers culture? What do we believe in terms of what we do and how we navigate as a culture doing training?
We participate.
Participation.
Engage.
What does that mean?
Conversation. Talk in the chat. Let them know you're listening.
Talking to child, let them know. Listen, what do we say about iron sharpening iron?
His friend's house, and then on the day that
Safe zone.
There we go. Safety, safe zone. What other type of zone is this? Are we a
No.
fixed or growth mindset?
Growth mindset.
Absolutely. And so here is an area of safety. We are safe, we're secure, we're able to be vulnerable. Why? Because iron sharpens iron. We support, we encourage, and we grow together. We are one unit. We move in what? In unison, right? And the way that we are able to do that is just working on ourselves, working on our mindset. So someone come off mute and tell me, how do we define failure?
Well, for me, failure is just another opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow.
Absolutely. Anybody have something they want to add to that?
It creates development. You learn from where you fell from.
The only fail
Absolutely. So
is
with
giving
that,
up.
that was the main thing that I wanted to be able to hear, right? Great, Mike. It's an opportunity for growth. So if failure is an opportunity for growth, are we afraid of failure?
No.
Jen shaking her head no, Shane shaking
No.
his head no, right?
No.
Okay, great. So I always have something to share, right, in regards to that. So let me optimize my sound
so
and share this quick video.
right here on my
Ready?
Teaches you a lot of things.
Nobody's perfect. We failed too many times.
Failure has made me who I am today.
Failures are the most important thing in life.
You learn nothing from success. Nothing. And you've got to be willing to fail.
If you aren't scared enough of failing, you're unlikely to succeed.
Because success doesn't teach you as much. It boosts your ego.
And you go through failure alone.
Failure also gets you to find who your real friends are.
Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up.
There's nothing in success. Success happens from failing hundreds of times.
If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
No one talks about failure anymore. It's like shame.
Ever tried, ever failed? No matter. Try again, fail better. The world is yours.
So do fail, and it's all right to fail.
All right. So why is this important? And why am I showing you before something else starts playing? And why am I showing you this video?
Because we should not be afraid to fail. A lot of times when we're doing something, we always want the perfection of doing it right. So we don't get on the court. So we stay off the court and we don't play. That's what happens with us a lot of times in this business. We don't get on the court to play. We don't make the calls. We don't talk to people. We don't set appointments. We don't get on the court because I'm afraid to make that call. I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid that I don't have the right words when I'm doing a presentation. But if we fail and fumble, we said, I just learned from my failure. And it develops us in that area where we need to be strengthened.
Absolutely. It's about failing faster, right? And so this is what I always want to create our environment around. The quicker that we are to fail, the quicker we'll get to our success. Like Mike said, it's only an opportunity for growth. And so the quicker we fail, the quicker we can grow, right? And so that has to do with our mindset and making sure that we develop along the way. Mike, I saw your hand up. Did you have something you wanted to add? No? Okay, you were just chiming in. Got you. Okay, so with that, we can't be afraid of failure. And this is the space, guys, where we need to be failing frequently. We're around each other and someone will have the question that you're afraid to ask. Someone will have failed in an area and learned from it where they can give you the support and the anchor that you need to learn from it so that way you can be successful. So we can't be afraid to share in this environment. This is the perfect environment for our growth. This is a perfect environment for us to slip. This is the perfect environment for us to learn from our mistakes. Okay. And so with that, where did we leave off last week? Let's recap. Let's see. I can't see people. DJ, where did we leave off last week?
I'm not even 100% sure on that.
Okay, I'll help you out. See, this is the
I
whole point.
remember
Right?
we were talking about the I am statements.
There we
I remember
go.
that.
Yep, absolutely. We were talking about I am statements, right? And so with that, why is I am statements important? Jen?
It helps you create the vision in your head and be able to see where it's at, and it helps you get there because if you can visualize it in your mind, you can put it into the world, basically.
Okay, yes. And your I am statements are not affirmation, guys. This is a way for you to work on your identity, right? You cannot outwork a weak self-image. There's no way that you can do that. But when your identity starts to align with your goals, then effort becomes automatic. Like I know for myself, there's a time where, if I'm not believing in who I am becoming and my identity isn't aligned with my goals, no matter how much I tried to fake it, I would end up fizzling out. I couldn't sustain it over time. But now that my identity is aligned with my goals, then no one has to pump and prime me to give feedback. No one has to pump and prime me to go to work or take action or make the calls or talk to people, because now I understand where my identity is. And that all came from working on it, right? So your I am statements is about collapsing the gap between who you are and what you want to become. And anything we do and all the failure that we have is about working on yourself and working on your identity. So even with that, we will have some failures in times, but it's not about mastering a to-do list. Working on your self identity is about mastering self. We can go through and try to check off everything all the time, but if we haven't mastered ourselves and we don't master what's in our mind, then we'll continue to not reach our goals. And overthinking will stop you and cause you to fail in business quicker than actual failing will. Because if you're overthinking, then you'll just be stagnant, right? And so I know we had some people who decided to record their I am statements, right? And so with that, we're going to share some, okay? I love that 100. So with that, who wants to share before I volunteer? Who wants to share your I am statements? We'll wait for, oh, you raised your hand. Mom's raised their hand. Okay, cool. I'm going to mute so we don't echo.
She knows I hate I hate silence. Give me 1 second.
And then if we have time, then Mike will go through yours too.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yes.
God's child in the midst of turmoil. I am a warrior prepared for battle. I am a leader among the elite. I am developed. I am fierce. I am a business owner. I am a ring wearer. I am a $7-figure earner. I am courageous. I am a finisher.
Ooh, that's it. Drop some fire in the chat. Now, how many of you all felt the difference from when she shared last week or either 2 weeks ago? Jen shaking her head,
Definitely
yeah.
a
Yeah.
difference.
What's the
Yep.
difference? Oh, I can't hear Jackie. Okay,
Oh.
now I can. Go ahead, Jackie.
Yeah.
What you say?
No, it's just more convicted and it's a little bit more specific than the first time, too.
Absolutely. Doug shaking her head. I see that fire emoji there. Yep. And so I just want to ask you, Mom, like, how do you feel hearing your I am statements?
When I first did it, because I don't like hearing myself talk, I was like, oh, gee, the first time I did it, I said, this is really crappy. Let me do it again. But as I did it several times, I became more confident in what I was saying about who I am and where I'm going. And that's the reason why you hear a difference of a tone. I know who I am when I say these things about me.
Yeah, and even what I'm hearing even now as you're saying that, right? It seems as though there's some emotion still invoked, even when you're saying, like, I know that about me, I see that. And so, guys, one of the things that I want to make sure of that you understand is no one's expecting perfection. It's just about you doing the work, right? You have to be intentional about doing the work. She recorded that several times, and that's what I keep saying. Like, you're going to record it once, you're going to record it 5 times, you're going to record it 7 times, but until you start to feel that within yourself, and it gives you goosebumps or it starts to make you cry, that's when you know that you've hit the spot. But we can't sharpen that and we can't give feedback if you don't do the work, right? And you can't be afraid to do the work that's necessary to change your identity. Listen, we all came in this business, Coach Jackie, Coach Jerrelle, Coach Shane, like we've come in this business and we had no clue of what it is that we're doing. We knew who we knew that we were in the time that we were there, but we didn't know the type of people that we were going to have to become as we continued along the way. So I just challenge you all to do the work to become a different person, become the person that you intend to be, the success that you continue to call on. That's where you get intentional about doing the work and working on your mindset, because we haven't even discovered who we can be yet. But when you do the work, then you'll start to see, and you say those things and you believe them until they become who you are. And we have a couple of more minutes. Mike, would you still like to share yours?
Yeah, sure. I'll share mine. I don't know if I froze or not. Am I good?
You're good, Mike.
Okay, good. Here we go.
Yeah. There we go. Mike's back. Do you feel like sharing you share yours? Okay, my connection was unstable, guys. My bad.
Y'all ready? I'm sorry, we got background noise here.
I am wealthy. I am a leader of leaders. I build wealthy teams. I reproduce excellent leaders. I am confident in negotiations. I am a world traveler. I am a father. I am a world influencer. I am bold.
All right. Shane clapping it up. Right. Amazing, Mike. So, guys, give Mike some feedback on his I am statements. What did you love most about what you heard?
I think the biggest thing there, Mike, is you can hear it in the tone and conviction in your voice. Same thing too, Mom. Same thing. You know, we don't want to be reading these statements. I am cool. I am happy with my life. Sound like flipping Eeyore. It doesn't make sense doing the darn statements if you're not going to say it how you actually mean it. So kudos to both y'all on your statements, because it's not just about what you say, it's how you're saying it. So that's awesome.
Absolutely, Shane. Thank you for that, because you have to shake up your nervous system when it comes to saying these, right? You have to be able to shake up your nervous system because you already have programming about who you believe that you are now, and shaking up your nervous system and listening to, you have the one little narrator that's constantly telling you all the things that you've been told all your life about what you can't do. So you need that louder voice to overpower what it is. You just small one. You need to be big so you can know that you are big, you are capable, you are worthy, and you are deserving of becoming the person that you have set out to be. So with that, you guys, we can't give you feedback if you don't do the work. And so I know that those who want to see something different, then you guys will be prepared next week. Okay. So with that being said, thank you for your time. Jackie, I'm handing it back over to you.
Amazing, amazing, Kia. Guys, drop some fire, drop some fire. And I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you guys complete your I am statements. And guys, make that commitment to yourself. Make that commitment to yourself, because when we get better, things are going to get better in our lives, right? And that's what it all comes down to. So thank you, Kia, for that value. Guys, really blow up that chat. And hey, listen, I'm excited to introduce our keynote speaker of the night, you guys. You just heard from him too. But one of the things I'd love to do, guys, I want to point out as well, if you guys are in a decent place, please turn on your cameras in respect to this leader as well too. We'd love to see your smiling faces and your engagement as well too, because it's valuable to our organization. But guys, we have one of the greats from not only home office, but it's incredible because he is second generation as well too. His father was one of the youngest $1 million earners as well in company history. And as well, you guys, he is building a legacy for his family. And I can't wait to hear the fire that he has to spit tonight. So without further ado, Shane 2.0, let's take it away, my friend.
Appreciate it, Jackie. Y'all, Mike, Kia, that was great. That's awesome. I'm telling you. You know, I think the biggest thing I took out of what was talked about, one, from what Mike is saying, y'all better get going to Baja Mar. Y'all better not be just sitting here, you know, while we're on Baja Mar having Mai Tais on the beach. Y'all better be hurry up and get your butts there, sort of thing. Number two, what Kia talked about was overthinking. Y'all, we are even if you don't believe it, I'm telling you, you probably are your own worst critic, right? We got to get out of our own heads, all right? You know, it's like I'm going to go swim today, but the water's cold. You don't even know that the water's cold because you haven't even touched it yet. You know, like what we got to get out of our own heads on these things, you know? I'll do a quick story about my first appointment. I don't know if I told the story to this group or not, but my very first appointment, I'm freaking the F out. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What do I say this? If I can do this? Am I going to screw this up? Like, what's going to happen? Oh my God. Like freaking out. Okay. And this happened to be like an extended family member. I purposely saved this to make sure it was going to be like a layup appointment. But I was in my mind the whole time. Like, okay, here's how to do the presentation. Here's how to start the FNA. You know, blah, 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 blah. I'm doing all this prep work, right? In my head like crazy. I get in there. I am sweating like a pig, okay? You can just see the beads running down my face, and it's December, all right? Like, I shouldn't be sweating when it's cold outside, but I'm sweating. I go into this appointment. We sit down. I start doing my thing, start doing this, and the client stops me. And I'm like, oh no, what did I do wrong? What did I do? And all of a sudden they go like, Shane, just so you know, we know that you're a part of a company we're talking about life insurance. We need life insurance. So we just want to go ahead and start to fill that out. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't do nothing. I didn't get through nothing. I didn't even talk about nothing. I was supposed to do this whole presentation. I was supposed to do this and that and just want to ask questions, and you just want to buy right away? See, I'm using that as to not impress, but to get you to understand that, listen, when you're in a situation that you overthink so much, you don't know how it's ultimately going to go, okay? You can only control what you can control. Right? And so it's all going to be okay at the end of the day. You just got to keep on failing. If you ain't failing, you ain't trying. So I love what was being talked about tonight. All right, well, that being said, let's jump right into it and get this thing going. And if y'all hear my dogs barking in the background, I apologize. One's old and one's young, and they like to play, be annoying with each other. So I apologize with that if you hear them barking in the background. So it's probably we got too many dogs here in the house, but it's all good. I love dogs. So everybody see my screen? Give me a quick thumbs up for everybody. If they can see my screen, perfect. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mike. We're good to go. As you all know, we're in the decade of dominance, right? We're in the decade of dominance. We got to keep that focus. We're fighting for $1 trillion. I know Mike already covered some of the announcements, so I'm going to breeze through these pretty doggone quick here, okay? But really, we are in triple play May. That means we're fighting for 3 different things, Mike. Yeah, triple play. There's 3 different things, you know? It's you do things triple, you're gonna get more points. We got 3 trips we're still talking about. All right. Now go get you your Where's the Money t-shirt. All right. Mike's got one on. Go get you one. Go get your bottle. Listen, this bottle's legit, y'all. I got mine the other day. It's awesome. The stickers and everything. It's a great bottle. We need to hydrate. You're going to be at the Best of the West in Colorado. It's high altitude. You got to make sure you're hydrated. So bring your water bottle with you, okay? Baja Mars is going to be unbelievable. We're still fighting for Best in the West, and we still have the securities trip as well for everybody, okay? So that's the stuff you already all covered. Now, something I do want to take a little bit to talk about is we have finally unleashed our lead generation through social media automation, okay? I highly, highly, highly suggest everybody get on the front page of POL. It's one of the 3 main banners, and it talks about how to, when you're posting things through Price Social, and somebody out there in the world interacts with it and they want more information, they fill out a little quick form. It automatically uploads into your CRM, and you have a task to call them or connect with them right away. This automated lead system, everybody, is legit. It's awesome. And if you haven't heard about it yet, you need to make sure you're on it because it's super, super, super important, okay? And you already covered this. I do think this is probably the quickest and easiest way to get somebody not only to understand IUL, but cash value in general in 12 minutes, okay? Listen, I've done training on IUL with this group, and we go in a little bit deeper dive on these suckers, but when we use the buckets and have a 12-minute cut and dry, super simple thing to understand, it's great for new people. Great training piece there as well, okay? All right, real quick, I do want to cover on the Next Gen 2.0 90-day report card, okay? What's been happening, how we've changed some of the underwriting stuff to make things, we're getting more approvals, less declines, more accelerations. I want to show you what that's looking like right now. So over 1,900 policies have been reduced to a standard class, okay? Making it from a rated, going back to standard. That's a 29% reduction in the first 90 days of the year. That's a big deal. Upgrading, getting better classes, better premium price for people. That's still up by 40% through 90 days. This is a big deal, everybody. They're trying to make things easier, more accessible to everybody out there. And then what I'm pretty excited about is the acceleration, all right? This is when we sit down with somebody, they fill out a precision term application, and we say, you know what? You don't need the paramed appointment. You know, we're just going to go ahead and issue you right away. And that's increased by 30%. And we're doing that all the way up to $1 million now, everybody. So that's a big, big, big deal. And we're going to continue to keep working on this. We have to keep retooling this to make our product the best out there for our clients, okay? And why do we got to keep doing that? Because there's still a massive, massive need out there for what we do. It's not so much that people don't know about life insurance or, you know, I've got it through work or whatever. We've talked about all that before, but there's a massive gap here. Well, I've got life insurance that's like $25,000. Well, what the hell is that going to cover in today's world, okay? You know, it's just not going to go very far. There's a $14 trillion protection gap, everybody. We're fighting for $1 trillion. We want to get 1/14 of that, okay? Breaking that down even more, look at all the needs and how much more coverage people need out there today. Okay, it's not going anywhere, all right? It's going to continue to be a challenge. We got to make that a focus of what we're doing here every single day. So now, at the beginning of the year, we heard Coach Glenn Williams, CEO of the company, talk about our battle plan, right? And I keep following this through the year. What we're focusing on tonight is knowing the facts, okay? And knowing the facts about our product. Because here's the thing. I played college basketball and was fortunate enough to win a national championship back in 2013, okay? And the main thing we focused on was how we did it and how we executed on the floor, okay? We rarely watched the competition's tape. Okay, we weren't focused on the competition. You got to know your stuff so well that because you know it so well, you'll automatically know about the other competition, how you can execute a lot better. So that's what we're going to focus on tonight. going into our features and benefits and what our products really are when it comes to the life insurance piece, okay? So going back to basics here. For some of you that have been here for a while, you're gonna be like, this is gonna be a great refresher. If you're new, this is gonna be really important to follow through with, okay? So first things first, so we're clear, we really have one insurance product, okay? We just have two different pathways, power term and precision term. Think of it that way, all right? Okay, so when we have two different application paths, it's still the same product at the end of the day, okay? Let me throw some credibility and some good stats out there for you, for the nerds out there that want to know what's going on. Listen, we are A+ rated. We've got 5.7 million lives insured. We're paying death claims. About 90% of them are all paid within 14 days, usually quicker. Okay, 1.8 billion in death claims paid through 2025. 5.1 is paid every single day, y'all. And we're, by Investors Business Daily, we're the most trusted life insurance company out there. So why am I showing you this? In case somebody's wanting to ask you some questions about this or that and the other, okay, this is a great thing to be able to show to folks. Or not show, just know these stats in your head. Did you know we're paying, a bunch of money every single day in death claims, over $5 million? That's awesome. That's a great deal, okay? All right, let's jump into power term. What is that path? What does that look like? Power term is designed for lower face amounts and to get stuff issued ASAP, okay? Where would you use power term? If it's anything under $300,000 in face amount, that's total coverage, you want to consider doing power term, okay? Now, this is going to incorporate our real-time underwriting, where it's going to be using a lot of data really quickly, okay? Which is cool. That's awesome. We can get stuff issued really, really fast. At the same time, you may have some times where it comes up where it gets declined really, really fast. Here's what I would tell you. Just because it gets declined really, really fast doesn't mean it's over, everybody. You have to submit something that's called a reconsideration form. And when you submit that, it allows us to take a second look at things to make sure, one, we're getting the right information, which we do most of the time. We always usually get the right information. But sometimes maybe we need to have a human look at it instead of a computer look at it to make sure we're defining things the right way, all right? Now, also with power term, okay, because we're using real-time underwriting, it's going to get done in 30 seconds, usually 25 seconds or less, all right? We're using that, we're really underwriting the client as they're answering questions on the application. So as they're answering no or yes to anything on the application, it's doing that in real time, okay? There are upgrades available through power term. And then 52% of all the cases are underwritten in pretty much during the application process. You may not know that it's being already a decision made before the application submitted, but half the time, before you're halfway through, the decision's already made on the client, which is awesome, okay? Speed is important. Speed is super, super important. If you don't get a decision by the end of your appointment, that's okay. It just needs a little bit more time. There's no need to panic there, okay? That's power term. It's pretty straightforward on that deal. When we're talking about precision term, this is definitely designed for higher face amounts, okay? It's more of a traditional underwriting, okay? And when we say traditional underwriting, that means they have to do a paramed appointment of some sort. Now, I did just say earlier we have acceleration. We'll talk about that in more detail in a second. But this is for anything 301 or above. You still can do, FYI, everybody, you can still do a precision term policy under $300,000 in coverage if you want to, okay? But just remember, power term is designed to get that rapid issue right away. Power term, if you look at a $250,000 power term and a $250,000 precision term is going to be a little bit cheaper because we went through more underwriting. Just keep that in mind, okay? That's super, super important. All right, and then only precision term applications are the ones that can be considered accelerated. That means waiving the paramed appointment. So what exactly is accelerated underwriting? When we go through the process and we feel like we can make a determination on someone's application that, you know what, we got enough records here, they seem healthy, everything's cooperating, we don't even need to worry about the paramed appointment, okay? We're using predictive models, traditional guidelines to waive, when we talk about underwriting, this is not just a Primerica thing, it's an insurance industry type of thing. We can pick our risk tolerances to see how risky somebody is. And when we feel comfortable what the risk level is, we can decide if we just want to kick that paramed appointment out. And don't get me wrong, Less paramed appointments, the better, because they can be annoying. Sometimes they don't get done. Sometimes that's the reason the policy never gets delivered, because we never got a paramed appointment done at the end of the day, okay? 24% of precision term policies are accelerated, and that continues to go up. That's going to continue to go up. It's going to be awesome. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to precision term, ages for this are 18 to 49. You're looking at 150,000 to $1 million in the accelerated part of this, okay? So if you have somebody that's 50, they're not gonna have a chance to be accelerated, right? If they want $1.5 million, they're not gonna have a chance to get accelerated, okay? So that's your key stats there to see if they have a chance to get accelerated, all right? So that's kind of our basics on the two pathways. Let's start talking about some of our benefits here. And the first one I love to talk about that I think sometimes provides some confusion to our field leaders and our clients as well is our increasing benefit rider, or the IBR. What this is designed to do, all right, is to keep up with the cost of living, because what $300,000 might be today ain't going to be the same 20 years from now, okay? Believe it or not, the IBR was created by my father. That's a little fun fact. He was one of the first person that actually threw this idea out there, because $100,000 in 1999 was going to be different than it was going to be in 2026, right? It wasn't going to go as far. The goal here is we want to make sure we can try to keep up with the pace of cost of things. Now, there's one IBR per policy. It's on every single policy we do, right? The increases are 10% of the original base plan. So it's going to go up 10% in coverage, calculated at the age you applied for the policy. So that makes it cheaper, all right? You're getting more coverage for a younger age. And does life insurance get cheaper as you get older? No, it doesn't. But with the IBR, for the additional coverage, it stays the same. It's going to increase up to 10 years, okay? And what that means, so we're clear on the 10 years. The IBR is a 20-year term, okay? It's a 20-year term. It's only going to do the increases in the first 10 years, okay? And then after that, it's going to stay the same. Now, what can happen with the IBR is if you want to turn it off, you can. The client can call at any time and say, hey, I don't want to do the IBR anymore, or they'll get the letter that they do at the each year anniversary and say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, and they stopped it in year 5 or year 6, okay? They can decline it on the very first year if they want to, all right? By the way, one of the most common things we hear when somebody is not willing to keep their policy after 9, 10, 11 months, it's because they say, I got this letter saying my premium was going up, and you told me my premium was never going up. Why didn't you tell me about this? Guys, that usually is the IBR letter. So I highly encourage you. We need to have touch points with our clients. We got all these great tools at Primerica now. Even if you don't think they work super, super well, we still have all these different tools to where we can send an email that automatically happens, reaching out with our own follow-up system. You need to be in touch with your clients, in my opinion, at least once a quarter, okay? And you should have something set up to where you know you can go into your IBR report, all right, that's on POL, and see when those IBRs are coming up, and call them and remind people, say, hey, you know, Jerrelle, don't forget, you're going to get your IBR letter here in a few weeks, and so don't panic. If you want to add some more coverage for super cheap, great. If you don't, just sign the letter and send it back in. Simple, okay? So keep that in mind. You can't add the IBR once you've canceled it. We keep clear on that, all right? And also, the IBR is only going to be included on policies for people that are ages 18 to 55 at a standard rate class or better. All right. So if they're rated, we're not going to be able to do the IBR. All right. The maximum amount of additional coverage, by the way, is 500 grand. All right. I have people out there that say all the time of like, I put $1 million on somebody, they're going to have 2 million after 10 years. No, that's not how it works, y'all. The max additional coverage they can get is 500,000. So if they hit 500,000 in year 5 of their 10 years of increases, they're not getting any more increases. That makes sense, everybody? Okay, keep that in mind. That's super, super, super important. So I had somebody call me the other day, and RVP goes, I thought the IBR went the entire term of the policy. So if they had 30 years, they get 30 years. And no. As Matumbo used to say, no. So it doesn't work that way. It's a 20-year term, okay, 20-year term. All right, let's talk about another benefit we have here. It's called disability waiver of premium, or just for short, I just call it waiver of premium. All right. What is waiver of premium designed to do? It's designed to pay your premium if you become disabled as the insured. Okay. It's for folks 1855, and it does terminate at age 60. It's no longer there anymore. This is an option. You have to click to turn this on if you do this on the application. Okay. Now, it's awesome if you get hurt, can't work, and you can't pay your premium, they'll pay your premium for you. But it's also very important for another feature and benefit that I'll talk about here in a second, okay? So if it's 6 months or more that you've been disabled, you can submit the claim with Primerica. They'll then they'll pay you back if you've been paying for 6 months while you've been disabled, all right? And then they'll keep on paying your policy for you as long as you are disabled. Now, some questions that I get sometimes is, well, what if you become permanently disabled? What happens? Well, we're still paying for it. You know, we got people that are still on the waiver of premium. Even if it started before 60, they're still on it. If they've been permanently disabled and can't work at all, we're still covering their premiums for them, which is a really, really good deal, y'all. Now, when we have cases like that, keep in mind, I had somebody the other day that had a traumatic car accident and had a massive brain injury. So every 2 years, per the state of where he lives, he's got to get checked out by a doctor to keep his state disability, okay? Primerica follows those guidelines a little bit. They get a copy of the report that comes from the doctor to deem that this person still cannot work, okay? After it's happened a few times or a few years in a row where that's gone on, eventually Primerica won't need that information anymore and we'll just keep them on the waiver of premium. So again, this is an additional charge. You have to toggle this on and off. Little quick tip here. I always quote my clients always initially with this turned on. Okay. If price is becoming a challenge, then I start working a little bit to try to get the cheaper deal. But when you throw out a quote the first time, have this turned on. Super, super important. Okay. Now, if they're over 55, it doesn't work, right? You know, but always have this turned on. All right. Now, let's talk about the next benefit, probably the most important one in my opinion, and waiver of premium being turned on directly affects our terminal illness benefit rider. This is a big deal. This is on every single policy, no matter what class, you know, rating, no matter what. It's on there no matter what's going on, okay? And what it's designed to do is if your physician, the insured's physician, unfortunately deems you in 6 months or less that you're going to pass away, you have the option to get access to a portion of your funds on your life insurance policy, okay? Now, when we do this, there is a little bit of an interest charge that's charged on there, which I'll talk about here more in a second. And it's an advance, okay? You're getting a big advance on your policy ahead of time because, again, your doctor's deeming that you're not going to make it past 6 months. So you can use those funds. There's no tax consequences or anything like that. It's technically considered a loan by the tax code, and you can do whatever you want with that money, okay? Now, here's where the waiver of premium comes in. If you have waiver of premium turned on, you're going to get 70% of your coverage up to 400 grand. If you have it turned off, you're only going to get 40% of your total coverage that you have on there up to 250. So when you're talking about waiver of premium, it's vitally important to know what could happen here when you have it turned off and on, and make sure your clients know that. It's super important. Now, the question I get all the time with TIBs, what happens if they live after 6 months? Great. Awesome. You don't owe the money back. You don't got to worry about anything like that. You will still be continuing to make premium payments, okay, on the rest of your coverage there. That still happens, okay? But what happens is it becomes a claim at this point. So the claims team at Primerica, once you use the TIB credit, they kind of are your point of contact at that point. So you're going to do whatever the claims team is going to be telling you because you've already opened up the claim, okay? Y'all, I can't tell you how many people have utilized this and are still alive today. Not maybe directly because of what they did with the dollars, but I know a lot of folks took those dollars and they went and did some alternative medical treatments and it's kept them around, okay? So, you know, I hate to say it, but if you have some money and you need some health care, money can buy you some health care. It just can. I wish it wasn't always about the money piece, but for some situations in terminal illnesses, it is, okay? I'm telling you, it's probably the most underrated feature we don't talk about enough to where you'll hear every major leader from back in the day would go, we're not just selling life insurance, we're selling life insurance. This here truly, truly, truly allows somebody to access something while they're still alive. Okay. So important deal there. This is similar to what we have when the competition is talking about living benefits and stuff like that. This is a living benefit. Okay. This is considered to be a living benefit. And again, keep in mind too, other competition policy out there. Oh, we have a terminal illness rider too. Well, go read the fine print because they typically say you have to send in your information about being terminally ill, and then one of their doctors is going to say if you're really sick enough or not. Where at Primerica, here's the form, your doctor fills it out. Pretty cool deal, okay? Pretty awesome. All right, you know what also is kind of important? Children. So we got to talk about the kids here for a second, all right? This is important, and if you've been here for a while, what our old product had a little bit different stuff going on with the child riders compared to now, all right? Maximum coverage on a child rider is $50K, all right? Now let me talk about this part before I throw everything else up here for a second, okay? I get a lot of questions all the time, and we got mom and dad no longer together, okay? We got two different households. Who gets to have all the child rider benefits? How does that work? Okay. If we got mom living in one place and dad living in another and both have separate families, but they share a child, how does that work? You got to keep in mind that at Primerica, everybody, the max coverage we will put on a child is 50 grand. Okay. So whoever comes first that gets a policy with Primerica, whether it's mom or dad first, and they put that at 50 grand on their policy. So if mom goes and gets a life insurance policy and puts the child on there and puts a $50,000 policy on there, dad can go get a policy on himself, but dad cannot add any more coverage to have his child on that policy because we've already got up to 50 grand. Okay. This is a tough conversation sometimes, y'all. I know it. It comes up far too often. So here's my suggestion to everybody. If and when this does come up with you, one, always we're going to follow whatever court order happens. All right. If we're in a divorce situation and we got custody battles and stuff like that, Primerica is going to follow whatever custody battles are going to be. If there's not really any kind of legal action that's really going on, all right, my recommendation is 25 and 25. 25,000 if mom wants to have a policy and dad wants to have a policy, 25 and 25. And here's why you can say that. 25,000 times 5 is the max coverage we're going to give when we do a child rider conversion. The max coverage we're going to do is $125,000. So it's not just like, well, we're not going to do 50 times 5. So you're getting the best value anyway by doing 25,000. All right. So that's my soapbox when we've got parents with multiple families sharing a child. It gets a little bit complicated. Get me involved in those situations if you've got complications like that, because that can be a little bit challenging sometimes. All right. All right. When it comes to, said some of this already, when a child turns 25, they can get a separate policy. Again, the max is $125,000 due when we do coverage. It's automatically issued at a power term class 7. And again, there's no underwriting required, which is awesome. If the primary insured passes away, the child rider is automatically paid up. So no more premium is paid on that rider anymore. It's paid up. And then at 25, they can get their own policy still at that point. Okay, so we're clear. People ask me, well, how many kids can be on the child rider? It's technically unlimited. It's however many kids are living in the household. All right. Now, when I say household, well, what if they're living with their grandparents? Well, the grandparents can have the child rider on the child if they're living in their household. If they're living in two different places, okay. If they're spending 50-50, whoever's getting the policy can be a part of the household. Just remember the max is 50 grand. All right. Even if you have a kid on multiple policies, the max is 50. So if you got 5 family members that want to put the kid on a policy, then they could do 10, 10, 10, and 10. Okay. If you really wanted to go make it that complicated. Now, when can we add them to the policy? Newborns are automatically covered after 5 days. So keep that in mind. Why can we do that? We can pretty much find a lot of documentation of when a baby's born these days. We just know when it's going to happen. There's too many things to prove that. All right. So we don't need to have to wait on you to send all that to us. We can always go back and find that. All right. And then this is important because our old product, you could get kids on there up to 25. With this product, you can only add them to the policy from 5 days to 18 years old. If they're 19 or older, we need to look at a separate policy for themselves. Super important there, okay? Super, super important, all right? I'm going to pause there for a second because this is an important one and I covered a lot. Do we got any questions on child rider benefits at all? Or anything else I've covered? Going once, going twice. Mike, you got a hand going? What you need?
Yeah, I'm sorry. When you were saying split between the parents, in those situations, are you saying one can cover up to 25 and the other can cover up to 25, or was that?
So that was my that's my recommendation if there's a situation where we've got one parent that's already got $50,000 in coverage, but the other parent wants to have some coverage on their child because they share a child together. The other parent would have to agree to reduce the coverage on their child rider so that this child rider could have some, okay? Whenever we go into a situation where nobody's got any kind of policy, I do always recommend just 25 grand, okay?
Okay, thank you. I thought only one or the other could have it under them, but thank you. I didn't know that.
It makes it a lot cleaner, a lot simpler, and you look like $1 million when you're actually recommended, no matter how good or bad the relationship is between mom or dad in that situation, you're keeping the kid, in mind that there. It's like, you know what? If you both want to have some coverage, just do 25-25, because that's the max 5 times coverage you're going to get anyway at that point, okay? Now, quick follow-up on that, because it just reminded me, well, if there's 25 here and 25 here, am I going to get even more coverage when they turn 25? No, still the max you're going to get is $125,000, okay? Good there. Good question. Let's keep on going here. Now, a great tool here that everybody needs to make sure they know about, and this is when we take money with the application at the end of the day. It's called conditional coverage. And what conditional coverage is when somebody fills out an application and say they pass away during the application process and they submitted at least a 1-month premium deposit with the application, we're going to be able to pay that death claim still if several conditions are met. Here are the conditions. All the info in the application has to be true and complete. No lying, okay? None of that kind of stuff. The policy would have to be issued at a standard class or better. So if the applicant was still alive and we went through the whole process, if it still would have been issued at a standard rating or even better, then we still can pay out that death claim, all right? And then the company has received all items concerning insurability, medical exams, body fluid studies, all that stuff. Not to get too morbid here, but we can still get some of that information should someone unexpectedly pass away. A coroner's office can provide some of that information to home office to provide that to us. And then at least the full month's premium has 1 month premium has been paid. Now let me real quick here. The max conditional coverage you can get is $500,000. If you're filling out a policy for $1 million in coverage, all right, we're only going to take up to $500,000 on that deposit. So it may not be an entire first month premium. Does that make sense? Because once the policy is issued, then it's going to be the full $1 million of coverage. So your premium payment, monthly premium payment might be a little bit different. You might have to explain that at the kitchen table sometimes to make sure they understand, like, well, you told me it was $100 a month, but why are you only taking $50 a month today? Well, because I can only conditionally cover you legally by insurance law up to 500 grand. Make sense? Okay. Y'all, I've got plenty of stories on this one too. I mean, 26-year-old kid last year fills out an application on a Saturday, unfortunately dies on a Tuesday, and we got that claim paid out within 30 days. Now, why do I say within 30 days instead of 14 days? Listen, when somebody passes away in an unfortunate situation and they haven't even gotten a policy yet, there are some more hoops to jump through. So the fact we can still get that paid out in under a month and get all the info that we needed, it's a pretty good deal. $300,000 went to his mom, and money cannot bring people back, but it sure helps a little bit at the end of the day, okay? All right, another feature that we have, our automatic increase request. This is an important one. It's included on every policy unless you turn it off, all right? And all we're trying to do here is if you qualify for a better rate, all right, but you want to keep your premium payment the same, all right, then you're going to be able to get some more coverage. So if you already want to pay $100 a month, but you qualified for $80 a month, and you want to take that extra 20 and just get more coverage, you can do that. We've added a ton of coverage since doing that. It's great. All right, well, for the sake of time, I'm going to run through this pretty quickly here. One of our other benefits is, and this has to do with our competition, is achieved contestability. Every single policy out there, y'all, typically has a 2-year contestability period, which means the insurance company can challenge whatever may happen in the application, or say the person hurts themselves. Usually, if there's a suicide or something like that, that's still contestable at the end of the day. Unfortunately, there's people that go take life insurance policies on themselves and then try to hurt themselves so they can try to leave dollars for their families, which that's an awful, awful situation I don't even enjoy thinking about, but we got to protect ourselves a little bit as a company. So during the contestability period, if the company learns that the applicant withheld information that might have affected a decision of issue coverage, even if the information is unrelated to the actual cause of death, the company can't deny payment. And if they deny the payment, they're just going to refund the premium. All right. Now, here's what we're going to do at Primerica. If you're replacing another insurance company's policy and say they've already had that policy for more than 2 years, and let's say it's $200,000 in coverage, we're going to waive the 2-year contestability period with Primerica up to the $200,000 in coverage. This is a big deal because they don't have to go through contestability again. So in my example here, if I needed $500,000 with Primerica, but I already had a $200,000 policy with somebody else and I've had it for 3 years already, I can go ahead and get the $500,000 with Primerica, but only $300,000 of it's going to be under the standard contestability period for 2 years, where the other 200, I already went through that with the other company. So you don't have to do that again, which is awesome. Okay. So on this one here, I don't know if I would be sharing this with the client. I think this is going to make the client be like, what are you talking about? I don't really care, just to be quite honest. I mean, you should talk about IBR, you should talk about the TIB, you should talk about child riders. Those are important. But when you talk about achieved contestability, it's vitally important that you know it, okay? But I don't think it's something that you just got to be so like, let me tell you about achieved contestability. That's not the most exciting thing to talk about at the kitchen table, okay? But you need to know how it works, all right? And then lastly, whenever we're filling out these applications, y'all, you have to make sure you get the My Primerica app downloaded after the policies or the application is submitted. This is super important. It's a 15% difference in persistency. What is persistency? That means business staying on the books. You are not done on your kitchen table appointment until this sucker is downloaded on their phone. All right. And listen, as soon as they send the application, they can sign into this thing. All right. Even before they technically become a client, they can go ahead and create their account. So what does that mean? While you're on a call with them or while you're there in person, do it with them right then and there. It's a big deal. And all of our tech stuff in the future is going to be coming through this app. All right. Everything's going to be done in one place. So you got to get everybody onto MyPri. So that covers our features and benefits. Let me run real quick to close this thing out. Everybody, we have to be a titan of term. All right, we got to be titans at the end of the day in this business. We talked about mental toughness here. Kia did a great job earlier. Titans don't overthink. They just do. Even if they don't make maybe the best decision, they made a decision and move forward. All right, that's exactly what these folks did forever ago. Art Williams did not jump into this thing and just being like, I think I'm going to get it perfect the first time. It was all trial by fire. Okay, you trial and error, baptism by fire, whatever's going on, you just figured out and kept pushing along. Okay, you want to talk about failure? All of them folks on the screen here failed at some point. All right, you just got to keep pushing through. We're going to have a 200,000 sales force. It's going to happen. I think this team's going to be a big part of it. A massive part of it's going to come from this team, in my opinion. We got to keep pushing and focusing on that. We're going to get it to $1 trillion in coverage in this company. I know it's going to happen, but it needs to happen this year. It should happen this year. We're at $968 billion in face amount in force at the beginning of the year. We should hit that this year and we don't got to wait till 2030. Let's do it right now, okay? Primerica is going to be the #1 provider of term insurance in North America. The question for you is, do you want to just be a part of it? Or are you going to do your I am statement and say, I am going to be a part of it, all right? Should add this to all your I am statements right here. And then at the end of the day, we're going to have a great event here in 414 days in the biggest and bestest dome in the country. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. It's going to be absolutely unbelievable. I'm sorry I went over time a little bit there, everybody, but there's a lot of information that we have in our policies that you got to get more confident and understand at the end of the day. The better you know our stuff, the better you're going to be out in the field. All right. So you got to know the facts. That was rule #1 for our battle plan. Make sure you know your facts, know what we're doing. And man, if you need anything at all, y'all can reach out to me anytime. I know I went through things kind of fast there. If you need some more clarification on things, please reach out. And if people got questions, I'm free to stick around here for a little bit if need be.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach Shane. Wow, you guys. Wasn't that just value packed, y'all? Just absolutely. Hey, Jaden, no, buddy. That was just absolutely valued packed. But yeah, guys, any questions, raise your hands as well, too. We'll give it a couple of seconds to ask the incredible Shane some questions. If not, we're gonna let him rock out and head straight into recognition. So any questions, you guys, raise your hands if you've got any as well too. If not, that gives Shane more time to head on back on home, y'all. Jaden says bye.
Jaden, you're awesome,
I love
dude. Jaden, you're
love
awesome, dude. No, the most important thing I would say here, everybody, just real quick, is when you're on a presentation, when you're at the kitchen table, don't ever feel like you got to get through all these features and benefits when you're at the kitchen table. You don't need to do that, all right? There's some people that are like, I have to go through all of our features and benefits so I can show you everything about our life insurance. Listen, life insurance is not the most sexy thing to talk about to begin with, okay? It's just not, okay? So you have to make sure we're asking questions. I've done overcoming objections with this team before. Asking questions during an appointment is vital. They're going to tell you where you need to go. And then you just need to know when you need to pull out of your pocket here. I should talk about terminal illness here. I should talk about the IBR here. I should talk about child rider here. That makes sense? Good there? Well, if no one's got any questions.
Absolutely. You got to know when to use them.
Yep, know when to use them. If no one's got questions, and if Jaden's already telling me to get off the screen, oh, fine, Jaden, bye. You know, tell me bye.
We love you, Shane. Thank you for all you do and for coming on and pouring into us. We appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Let me know if you need something.
Love you, Shane.
We love you too. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. But hang on tight, you guys, as well, too. We're going to close out with some recognition as well, which I'm really excited about as well. So hang tight for some incredible recognition as well. But I'm excited because we're going to get that popped up and ready. But we have the incredible, the amazing Jen Schumann that's going to take it away to recognize all you superstars that are crushing on the leaderboard. So take it away, Jen.
All right. Are you guys ready for some recognition? Let me see some fire in chat. Let's get our teammates up here.
I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot.
All right, Life Premium in our base shop. $383, Tyler, Aaron, and Fort. $611, Quincy Caldwell, let's go. $1,500, Janie Espinoza, number 2. And number 1, $2,787 to Miss Sharita Mayberry and Dawad Hood. Let's hear a round of applause. Team recruits. Number 1, Tyler Aaron. And tied also Christina Wixon, Janie Espinosa, Sharita Mayberry and Dawad Hood. Securities production. Number 1, Kia Farai, $1,207. Let's go. Banking it. All right, these are all the people studying and progressing through their studies in life and SIE and all of those things. So let's give a round of applause to everybody in here working hard to continue on in their business. We've got 3 life tests scheduled, 1 SIE scheduled, and 1 Series 6 scheduled. Those numbers are going to go up. Promotions and licenses. I'm excited for this one, you guys. New senior rep getting off to a really fast start, Christina Wixon. And this is a big dang deal, guys. Our leader, Jackie Potter, is fully licensed and can now get people protected and help them invest. So huge round of applause for that. Field training bonuses. All right, Candace Smith banked $175. Christina Wixon banked $250. And Veronica Bartson $250 as well. Let's go, ladies.
Right now.
Tina Newman, $700 in the bank.
Get comfortable.
Now for cash flow. Tyler Aaron with $158.
And if you're by yourself, no worries. Just follow.
Charmetra Hill, $250. Brandy Wheeler, $650. Woo. Christina Wixon qualified at her level for the Bahamas and has got 75,000 points. Let's go.
Go. Thank you so much, Jen. Woo! Jaden's cheering as well too. But hey, so proud of you guys, and I cannot wait to see who is next on the leaderboards as well next week. If you guys didn't see your name, make sure you're on there as well. But guys, real quick, before we close out tonight, we had a special raffle as well too for this coming week as well for guys networking events, right? So for those of you guys that either scheduled in person or scheduled virtual networking events for your homework, let's get it, guys. Let's see who won this week for the raffle for the Leaders Building Leaders hat. So I'm excited. Let's see who wins. Who wins, y'all? Who wins? Oh, Coach Mike won! Woo! Mike Bride, we're so proud of you, man. Way to go, way to get after it, you guys, and way to take advantage of that incentive, y'all. So, hey, I'm excited, guys, and Mike, you'll get your hat. But guys, we'll see you guys on the next, which is tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, you guys, for our morning calls of greatness. Make sure you are on. And I hope you guys have an incredible night, and we'll